Hello, beautiful soul sisters. It is Christina. I didn't think I was going to make it here tonight. When I was starting to pack up to come here, it started raining, and I thought, oh my gosh, here we go again. So I am prepared this time, though. I have a hoodie, so if it does rain, and I brought my book, the one that was rained on Saturday. So it's just going to be my beach companion book for all of my lives going forward. So I know I started the live a little bit earlier, so I'm going to give it a few minutes. I think if I go that way, we're not going to catch the sunset. Let's see. If I go this way, I wasn't sure if we would get a sunset because look at all the clouds tonight. So I do want to try to walk though and talk, but I also have some important things to share with you today. And if you are not catching this live and you're catching this as a replay, that's absolutely okay. It will give you a chance to pause and write anything down that resonates with you. Take notes. If you are live, I would love for you to introduce yourself and just soak up the sun. Where is the sun? I don't see the sun. It must be hiding behind these clouds. Soak up the sun. Enjoy the beach waves. And enjoy this time that you're carving out. I know it's busy. I know it's such a busy time of the year right now. And I know many have sent me messages that they're so sorry they can't make it. Christmas parties. It's okay. No worries. That's why I go live. When I go live, I can pin it to the feature tab, and you can go and watch it at your own pace, at your own convenience. Even if it's at 1 a.m. and you can't sleep, it will be here. So, it's so much calmer than it was on Saturday. It was so windy and cold. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and let you enjoy the beach waves. I normally don't go this way here, but there's nobody. I wonder if it's just not very crowded, because usually the sunset, it's hard to get a parking spot. And there was so many spots available, probably because it just rained right before I came here. And I thought, I'm just going to take a chance. What I didn't bring with me though, again, you all will see all the blunders of going live, all the challenges of not having my house the way I used to have it, losing over 50% of it. My life is not normal right now. So I told you yesterday, the next time I go to the beach, I'm going to do this ocean exercise with you. And I didn't bring that because I was so focused on what we need to do today. And it's okay, because what we're doing today is just incredibly important to help you get through the holidays. And I think you're all going to, even if it's replay, I think you're all going to be happy that you're carving out this time for yourself. So, it looks like we are going to have a sunset. So pretty. I'm just taking it in myself. That's why I was quiet for a minute. Oh, it's so peaceful. Life is so hectic right now, so chaotic. And I'm sure you all feel the same way. I was just it was a challenging day. Emma's school called and she was not feeling good, throwing up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a vehicle to pick her up in. So I said, well, who's on her emergency list? And I didn't have anybody on there. And I'm like, okay, I had to find a way to pick her up. It became a very stressful day, which is one of the reasons why I didn't do it at noon. And I changed it to 5 p.m. So thank you all for understanding these 12 days. They're not going to be consistent with the times. My life is not consistent yet. So I'm doing the very best that I can with the circumstances that I have in front of me, which is what I always teach you all in grief training. And for that, I'm proud of myself. I almost didn't do the 12 days of Christmas. And I had every reason, every excuse not to have to do it, right? I am very overwhelmed with everything that's been happening in my life. But I felt it in my heart. And it's been helping me too. As I'm sitting down rewriting the curriculum, adjusting and pivoting and tweaking the agenda, it brings so much of a reminder to me, the grief tools that I teach. And that's important. It's important that I too, as your leader, as your grief coach, as your grief guide, that I practice these healing tools too in moments where it's just so overwhelming. Oh, it's beautiful now. I don't know if the video shows you how beautiful it is. I think I'm going to find a spot here where there's not a lot of people and I can sit down and do some grief training with you. And I don't want to call it grief training because this is not part of my grief relief group coaching teaching. This is a gift to all of you. I've never done this before. This is the first time ever that I've done the 12 days of Christmas. So again, so many of you were there for me and Emma. So many of you prayed for me and Emma, checked on us all the time, sent us special gifts, just the little things even that just to let us know that we were not forgotten. And I just wanted to do something to give back to those of you that have been there for me and Emma, and to also share these tips with those that are hurting. Even if you don't know me, maybe you're new to the group, maybe you don't know that I'm the founder and creator of The Positive Widow. I'm so thankful for you to have found our group, to connect with us here, and to make this time for yourself. I know we don't have a lot of people. I only see 4, so I don't know who's all here. I don't even know if there's comments, which might be a good thing because tonight I want to go right to it. So I'm going to sit down, make sure the waves don't get to me and my book. So let me go up a little bit further. Ooh, this might be a good spot for the sunset anyway. Okay. Nope, let me go a little bit more where I'm centered with the sunset. Oh, this is so peaceful. Just absolutely peaceful. When I share with you how hard it was for me to come to my happy place, to my place of serenity, it really, really was. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I'm opening my heart back to the love of God's masterpiece right here. So, okay. All right, I think you guys can still see the sunset. And I think I sent a post, or made a post, about bringing in my book, because I am going to share from the book again, and bringing a pen and paper. I don't think I have anything where you need to light a candle today, but you are more than welcome to start our session and light a candle. But today, first of all, today I want you to acknowledge and recognize the courage and the bravery showing up every day, whether it's live or if it's on replay. You are making time for yourself. You are actually honoring your healing journey. And I want you to know how incredibly proud I am of you. It's not easy. And I know a lot of you may be sitting in your living room. Maybe you're walking and watching this with me. I would encourage you to maybe tonight of all nights to have that pen and paper. I'm going to share some really, really good tips on how to keep some healthy boundaries, how to protect your heart during the holiday season. And I know last night I pivoted. Yesterday was supposed to be protect your heart from the letter hope. And I changed it to peace and being present and prayers. And it was all about my faith. I was so inspired in church. And I appreciate all of you that still joined me. And it was amazing to see how many comments were from that live. Thank you for not leaving the group. Thank you for having your faith. Whatever your faith is, again, I respect everyone having their own faith, but thank you for allowing me the space to share my message of how God has gotten me through everything. Where I am today is because I had hope that God would be there for me. I started to lean into my faith and started shifting away from the fears. So that's in my Protect Your Heart chapter. But tonight I want to focus more so on the holidays and how do you set up boundaries and protect your heart during the holidays. So what does protecting your heart mean? And if anybody's out there, if they want to put a comment that I'm starting the teaching at 5:10 p.m. Because I know sometimes people may not have the full hour or however long our live will be. And that might be helpful to them. They can just move toward 5 minutes, 5:10. So 10 minutes in. So what does protecting your heart mean? It means giving yourself the grace and the space to feel what you need to feel. Remember, I always preach this. You cannot heal what you don't feel. Protecting your heart means giving yourself the grace and the space to feel what you need to feel without pressure or guilt. Because as widows, boy, I don't know if you are like me, but I leaned into that guilt so many times. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I started to lean into my faith. And I just let all that guilt, all those fears wash away into the ocean waters. And also letting go of other people's expectations of you this holiday season. Release the burden and the pressure of what you think everybody else wants you to do for the holidays. As I was writing this, again, I was rewriting some of it this morning, and it dawned on me how much I would have appreciated having another widow to have been able to lean on. So I applaud all of you for being here in the sisterhood. I wish I would have had another widow share her story of how she went through the holidays, especially her first holiday season without her husband. Because my first holiday season, boy, I really thought I was going down a lonely, dark tunnel all by myself. with no end in sight. And this summer, I had taken a road trip, and there were some pretty long tunnels, and I could feel my heart racing. I was starting to feel those, those little anxiety feelings, the anxious thoughts. They were wanting to come up and play in the middle of that long, dark tunnel. And I'm like, when is it finally going to end? I want to just breathe. So that's how I felt my first Christmas season. And I wish I had had the tips that I'm going to share with you tonight, how to attend these gatherings. How do you get through this without your husband by your side? All those invitations, even though they all came from such a good place, they brought anxiety and they would heighten my sense of feeling so alone, because I knew there would be a lot of couples at these events, at these festivities, at these Christmas parties. It used to be, oh, we're going to invite Roger and Christina. Oh, we got to call Christina and Roger. It was one word. It wasn't just Christina. It wasn't just Roger. It was, we have to invite Christina and Roger. We have to invite Roger and Christina. One word. We were a we. And during that very first Christmas season, that's when I realized I was no longer a we. Now the invitations, they came in addressed to only Christina. I tried to write Christmas cards. I couldn't. And I have never handwritten a Christmas card since his passing. I could not find the courage to sign it. Merry Christmas. Love, Christina Napoleon. Couldn't do it. Can't do it now. It just has never felt the same for me. Thank goodness for Evites and e-cards. And thank goodness for Amazon, where you can order everything online and there's little gift cards where you can type up a Christmas message on there. But that was the very first time, was during the holidays when I was receiving the invitations. That was when I realized we were no longer a we. I was now alone on this journey. And that is how some of you might be feeling tonight. And that is, again, why I'm so proud of you for finding our sisterhood. My wish is that no widow has to grieve alone in silence or in shame the way I did. And that was why I created the Positive Widow. The holidays can bring an avalanche of emotions for those of us that are grieving. They can also be a time of love and connection, and they can also amplify our sense of loss. And again, we spoke a little bit about that empty chair feeling, that really, the absence when you see the chair at Christmas dinner and your husband's no longer sitting in the chair. And that is why tonight, I feel tonight is so important for you to be here. Learn how to protect your heart, how to set healthy boundaries during the holidays. Learn how to say no politely, and that it's okay to say no. And right now, as we move into our session, I do want you to recognize that you have all of us, this beautiful sisterhood, to lean on, most especially during the holiday season. I know that feeling of we are no longer we. All the invitations are coming in only in your name. The Christmas cards are now addressed only to you if you're receiving Christmas cards. And if you are sending Christmas cards, you're only signing them in your name. And if you are not able to send Christmas cards, I want you to know that is absolutely okay. And I also want you to know that if you feel you have to send it out because others are expecting a card from you, they know how difficult the season is. They don't know how we're feeling. They don't know the pain. Thank goodness they don't know the pain. But I want you to take that pressure off of yourself. It's actually a very, very pretty sunset. So before we get started, I would love to hold an honor of silence as we remember our loved ones, remember our husbands. Cece, I see that you're on here, and I know that today is a very special day for you and your sister. I'm very, very sorry for your loss. And I know December 16th brings on heightened emotions for you too. So tonight, for the sunset, I hope you can honor your sister here. Be present in the moment of the beach waves, the soothing sounds of the waves, and the sisterhood love here. I'm going to go ahead and hold a moment of silence for all our loved ones. So beautiful. So very special. I've had some beautiful messages from those of you that are participating in the 12 Days of Christmas. One of them really, really touched my heart. And I don't remember it, and I read it, I think it might have been after day one, so it was a few days ago. And she had just said to me that as time goes on, memories start to fade. And she was just very thankful and appreciative that I'm sharing tips on how to continue to honor their life and their memory. Their life mattered. Your love for them mattered. Their love for you mattered. And it's okay. You're not living in the past by bringing them forward in your heart. So with that being said, I am going to grab my book. And we paused the other night, strategically with my teaching. We paused at page 136. So I'm going to go ahead and read the tips and the strategies that I wrote in the book. These were the strategies that helped me navigate my grief during the holiday season. And some of this was also strategies, again, when I was interning as a grief coach for new widows, that I learned from them as well, that they gave me permission to share. The first strategy for protect your heart, especially during the holidays, is self-care. And we have been doing self-care every single day with the 12 Days of Christmas, with the Positive Widow series here inside the group. Reflection and journaling, those are self-care activities. So in my book, I said self-care is extremely important during the holiday season. Make sure you prioritize activities that help you refuel your body, mind, spirit, and soul. Yoga, meditation, breath work, walking, and gratitude prayers are all excellent choices of self-care. Exercise has direct stress-busting benefits, including the release of endorphins, serotonin, and the feel-good dopamine. So it is one of the best choices you can make to help give you a mood boost when sadness, anxiety, and depression start to hit throughout the holiday season. And all of you know I'm not a yoga girl. I do beach yoga, but it's because it's really just stretching exercises and breath work here in Florida. So it's not yoga like you think it is. Walking and talking to God and talking to my husband has been my saving grace. So you have to make time for yourself during the holidays. Whatever it is, if it's journaling, coming and watching the replay, coming on live, these are all self-care activities. And I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself. I could not share tips on surviving the holidays without sharing with you what helped me the very most when I did go to Christmas parties or festivities. And I don't remember, I haven't read this part of my book in a while. I can't remember if it was the first year or the second year, because remember, there's no time limit. There's no expiration date on grief. It doesn't matter if it's year 1 or year 2, year 5, 10. There's going to be things that happen, and it's going to bring up the grief. So it's so important, again, to have these tools, these healing tools, to help you get through the holiday season. So I don't remember if this was year 1 or year 2 for me, but what I learned was how important it was to have an escape plan. So this is what I wrote in my book. If you said yes to attending a holiday event and then feel you cannot stay long, please let the hostess know you dropped by just to say hello and you may leave early. Then let the party unfold on its own. Only you will know if you are comfortable staying longer. Also, be sure to find a back door to run out if you need to step out and take some time to cry. It may be the first time people are seeing you since your husband's passing. So you may receive a lot of hugs, a lot of "I'm sorry for your loss," and a lot of "How are you?" And they may all flood you at once. I used to escape to the bathroom so I could cry and also wash my face. However, my favorite place to catch my breath was always outside, where the cold, brisk air would always bring me back to the present moment. I cannot tell you how hard it was for me to have people hug me and just be kind to me. And I struggled with it because for so long I had to be Roger's rock as his caregiver. I had to be so strong for him that I did not know how to receive and accept kindness from others. And it would make me cry, but I didn't want them to see me cry, so I would run out the front door and I would say, "Oh, you know what? I forgot something in the car. Let me go get that. I'll be right back." Or if I did receive an invitation and it was bringing up those anxious feelings and the feelings of suffocation and, oh my gosh, I can't catch my breath, I would respond and send them a text message and let them know, "Thank you so much for the invitation. I may just stop by to say hello. I don't think I will be there for the whole event." Remember to be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that this holiday season, even though it feels so long right now, because for us it started before Thanksgiving, it is temporary. When you run outside to get that cold air feeling and take those deep breaths, my mantra, my word was always, "This is temporary, this is temporary. I can stay for just a minute longer. I can say my goodbyes. I can get in my car. I can go home and I can take a hot shower and I can cry." Give yourself permission to feel what you are feeling in that moment. And also, if you find that you're having a good time by simply saying to the hostess, "I'm just going to stop by to say hello," you're also giving yourself permission to just see how everything unfolds. And then maybe you're like, "You know what? If it's okay, I think I can stay for dinner." Honor your feelings in those moments. Here's another important piece. Be mindful of your food and alcohol intake. This is a time of year when food choices bring back memories from holidays in the past. For me, it's more so my mom and dad because they're from Eastern Europe, and oh my goodness, the baked goods and the marzipan and the pfeffernusse cookies and all of that just brings me such comfort and memories from my childhood. But comfort eating and soul food can become very hard to turn down when we are already feeling isolated and lonely. And it is the same with alcohol. And guess what? The sugar and the alcohol can perpetuate your grief. The initial elevation of mood is soon replaced by becoming anxious, depressed, and it also disrupts your sleep. So what I started to do is allow myself to have a small pfeffernusse cookie. If I saw that at holiday events, I wouldn't overindulge, but I would also give myself the ability to enjoy it in the moment and also understand that when I was suffering with such severe anxiety, sugar, salt, and caffeine. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't have a testimony if alcohol. I would imagine that alcohol would also heighten anxious thoughts, but I can tell you in my own experience that I became an advocate for my own health because I did not want to be on medication, and that's a personal choice I made. And I know others that thrive and are doing well by taking anti-anxiety medication. Again, in grief training, I teach you that your journey is your personal journey. All these decisions are your personal choices, and we all have to be respectful of each other and the choices we make. I chose not to take any anti-anxiety medication, and I learned very quickly sugar, salt, and caffeine really heightened those anxious thoughts. And once I stopped consuming that, boy, that heaviness in my chest, the racing heartbeat, the feelings of I can't catch my breath, all of that started to subside. So I just wanted you to be mindful during the holiday season, especially because these anxious thoughts are already heightened because of the holidays. And then you add alcohol or you add sugar, it's going to heighten them even further. So just be mindful. And then I want to encourage you to ask for grace. Limit the number of commitments that you make to help ease your own overwhelm. Ask family members for grace during the holiday season. Let them know that you are not sure if you can make it. And it's okay. You may not even know until hours before the event starts, whether or not you're going to go. So that's what I gave myself, was the grace to be honest. Again, I would say I may stop by just to say hello. I'm not sure if I can make it. Thank you for the invitation. And then the next bullet in my chapter, it says, it is okay to say no. That was so hard for me. So hard for me. I don't know how to just say no. So when I would be asked, I would put that burden, the burden that I talked to you about at the very beginning of this live, I would place that burden on myself, thinking that I had to accept every invitation. Because some of them came to his memorial service, because they sent me a sympathy card, because they sent me a sympathy card with a check. I felt that I had to say yes to every invitation I received. And then I realized quickly that I was spiraling with those anxious thoughts and the panicky feelings. And the feelings of, I am so paralyzed, I cannot get out of bed, because it was only 3 to 4 months for me, who died in August. So I learned that No is a complete sentence. It is absolutely okay to say no. And you can say that your grief coach, Christina, gave you permission to say no. Now, my grief coaching clients will tell you that I don't know how to just say no, even though I teach you it is a complete sentence. And for some of you, you have the ability to do that. I don't. I always have to add something polite after the word no. So I will say, well, let me see what I wrote in my book. And it's getting a little bit dark, so I'm going to have a hard time reading. I wrote, please remember that no is a one-word sentence and acceptable while you are grieving. Even if you said yes initially to attend a holiday event, but then you woke up with heavy grief waves that morning, please know it is still okay to cancel even at the last minute. You are grieving. You must listen to your body, and if you feel more comfortable staying home this year, then please have my permission to say no. Set your boundaries and be firm with your boundaries. And then I say how important it is to have a support system. Lean on your friends, your family, your support groups, including grief groups such as our sisterhood here, the Positive Widow, during this stressful time. And then I wrote, simplify your decorations. I talked about that on our first night on the live, so I'm not going to go into that. And then volunteering. When I interviewed during my internship as a grief coach with new widows, volunteering was an answer I kept receiving. Many of them were alone. Many of them did not have family. And for many of them, volunteering in a nursing home, in a homeless shelter, maybe at your church or a soup kitchen, they shared with me how much joy it brought to their soul. And just to give back during the holiday season. And then journal is the next bullet. And this is what you've been doing every single day with me. It takes a few minutes each day during the holiday season to write and reflect your thoughts so they don't build up and overwhelm you. Journaling can help you reframe your thoughts and help boost your mood as you sort through your grief feelings, which is why I have been sharing these reflection activities with you every single day. These are so powerful. They may seem so simple, but I am telling you, it helps you. It helps you so much diving into those feelings that you may have buried deep, deep down. And you don't want to keep those feelings buried because you're not going to heal. And then also the last bullet I had on there. Oh, look at the sun is setting. It's getting close to sunset now. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm scared to zoom in because last time I zoomed in, and then you couldn't. It's like right at the water's edge. The last bullet I had was ask for help. Seek professional help if the holiday season becomes too difficult to manage on your own. I don't know if you all knew, but I am a certified grief coach and grief educator. I run a program called the Positive Widow Grief Relief Group Coaching Program, and I also have private grief coaching clients. So please feel free to reach out to me if you feel that this holiday season is too overwhelming and you need some extra support. I'm just going to take a minute and let you all sit and enjoy this. And then we're going to move into the breathing exercises that I wrote up for you. And the reason why I wanted to write these breathing exercises for you is because the holidays, especially if you were going to the holiday gatherings and all the festivities, they are going to really heighten our emotions of what we have lost. And again, I know not everyone says the word, I lost my husband, but as I've explained before, That is how I learned it in group education training. So, but those emotions get very heightened because his absence is so much louder. The silence is so much louder. The loss, not only of him, but the loss of the traditions, the loss of celebrating the holidays together, the sense of belonging. When he passed away, you lost that sense of belonging. You lost that sense of we were a we, and now you are an I. You went from we to me. And it's okay to acknowledge that these situations may just be too much for you right now. It's okay to let them know, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready this year. I'm not ready to celebrate Christmas. But thank you for inviting me, and please keep me in mind for next year. And if you feel comfortable and it's a friend or you're close with your mother-in-law or your sister, feel free to explain to them that grief is an exhausting process. And remember, you have a hall pass from me, your grief coach. You have permission to say no. You have permission to protect your heart by choosing what feels right for you. And there's the sunset. I want you to write this down. This is so important. Protecting your heart during the holidays is not about shutting the world out. It's about honoring where you are in your grief today, right now, in this moment. And it's about honoring what you need in this moment to heal. You are allowed to say no, to prioritize your peace, and to create a space that feels safe and nurturing. It's very overwhelming when you mix in family, relatives, friends, and you see those couples. It's important that you set healthy boundaries and that you have a holiday boundary plan in place. So I want you to reflect, and I want you to write in the chat, because your reflection questions are going to come last. But I want you to reflect in the chat tonight one event or tradition that you feel you will need a hall pass for this year. Name one boundary that you can set to protect your emotional space. Some examples may be, this year I will decline attending the neighborhood Christmas party. Everyone knew you as a couple, and all of your neighbors may be couples, and that might just be a little bit too much for you this year. Another example could be, I will leave family dinner early if I start to feel overwhelmed. That is another healthy boundary. I can't see the comments. I don't think I can. Maybe nobody's commenting tonight, because tonight's been so... Okay, I see some now. Jean said, must leave at this point. We'll tune in to the rest when I get home. Thank you, Christina. Beautiful sunset. Maureen said, sunset is beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. Aw, thank you, Linda, for saying the grief relief program is amazing. Pat said, awesome. Needed this tonight. So don't go yet, you guys, unless you have to, because I wrote some beautiful exercises for you, and then I'm going to give you your assignment, and I might make it to the 1 hour mark. And I hope it's okay with you all, because it's time that I value with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and ask you now to, this might be where you decide to light a candle. And the wind is starting to pick up. I don't want to lose my papers. Hold on one second. I have 2 more pages. And they're super, super important. Oh, that's pretty too, the way my phone is right now. Isn't this beautiful? Okay. And then I'm going to do this now while I still can read, because I wrote some of this out. So and then I'll go back to the questions. So I call this the healthy breathing exercise. So feel free to go ahead and light a candle, or if you feel better with the breathing exercises where you're comfortable and you place both of your hands on your heart. That's my favorite position when I do breath work. And the reason why I do so many of these breathing exercises with you is you may not know that you may have some pressure in your head that's built up. You may have some pressure in your body, and that is grief, and that is stress. And for me, the anxiety was so real, and breath work and fresh air and walking is what helped me. So like I've said, I'm not the yoga girl, and I'm not my friend Carrie. She comes as my guest expert inside my grief relief group program and does beautiful grief body movement exercises. And I wish I could say that even going through the whole past year with her and all the breath work exercises she does, I know that I pale in comparison, but I have learned a lot from her. And it has actually brought me so much relief. So for tonight, what I would like you to do is find a comfortable position, place your hands gently over your heart, and close your eyes. Feel the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. A gentle reminder of your inner strength and the love that still resides within you. Be very aware of your senses. Think about your 5 senses when you're starting to feel so overwhelmed that you can't breathe. Tonight, with your eyes closed, listen to the ocean waves. Imagine being here. Imagine sitting right next to me. And feeling the peace in your heart. And as you take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, as you inhale, I want you to imagine drawing in the energy of the healthy boundaries that we went through tonight. Inhale self-kindness. Inhale courage. Inhale self-respect. Inhale the ability to say yes to what nourishes your soul. Let this breath fill your body with warmth and light. And now as you exhale slowly through your mouth, as you release this breath, let go of any unhealthy boundaries. Let go of the pressure to please everyone. Let go of the guilt for saying no. Let go of the fear of disappointing others. Picture all of this heaviness leaving your body, dissolving right there into the ocean as it's being swept away by these waves. Now I would like you to take another deep breath in. This time, I would like you to envision a protective light surrounding you. A shield of love and peace. This light represents your healthy boundaries. It allows in the people and experiences that support you, while gently keeping out anything that drains or harms you. Exhale deeply Release any lingering self-doubt, anxiety, or overwhelm, and trust that it is okay to put your needs first as you navigate the season of grief and healing. On your next inhale, I would like you to imagine drawing strength from within. I want you to visualize yourself having the courage to feel empowered, to honor your heart, to protect your heart and your capacity during the holidays. Visualize yourself confidently saying yes to what feels good and to say no to what does not feel good. I want you to inhale with the understanding and the acceptance that it is okay to say no. And as you exhale, I want you to let go of any expectations, all those expectations that you place on yourself or those placed upon you by others. Release the weight of comparison, judgment, or the need to meet traditional holiday norms. Now I would like you to continue this rhythm of breathing. With each inhale, listen to the ocean waves. Fill yourself with clarity, love, and self-compassion. With each exhale, I want you to release the negativity. Release the pressure deep inside your belly, the pressure behind your neck, the pressure in your head, the pressure in your chest. Release all of that out. Watch them be swept right there in the ocean. Now take one final deep breath in. And I want you to hold it for a moment. Feel the calm. Feel the balance that you have now created within yourself. Slowly exhale. And as you do, I want you to silently thank yourself for taking this time to honor your boundaries and your journey. Take one more minute and slowly open your eyes. I want you to carry the sense of peace and protection. Remember, tonight is all about protect your heart. It's so important that you protect your heart this season. You deserve to feel safe, respected, and at peace. And now, I'm going to give you a minute to gather your bearings. And I'm going to ask you to write your reflection activity for Protect Your Heart, day 4. It's raining on me. So I might have to run again. So I'm going to do this quickly. Number 1, what does protect your heart mean to you during this holiday season? While you're writing that down, I did bring a hoodie. I'm going to put it on because it is coming down on me. Hold on. I'm still here. I'm so sorry. This weather. Oh gosh, I think I lost you all. Oh no. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if I lost you or not, but my paper is getting soaked. So let me see if I can even read it. I hope I'm still going. Number 2, what boundary can you set this week to take care of yourself? And number 3, how can you remind yourself that saying no is an act of love for yourself and for your healing? So again, number 1, what does protect your heart mean to you during this holiday season? Number 2, what boundary can you set this week to take care of yourself? And then number 3, how can you remind yourself that saying no is an act of love for yourself and for your healing? Okay. Hold on. My paper is soaked. I'm so glad. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, so much for letting me get through. The rest will be me speaking from my heart, answering questions. So hold on one second. And this is now my companion book, my beach book. So if it gets wet like it did on Saturday, this is going to always be the book that I bring to the beach. Let me put this away. It's stopped raining. Okay, good. So, but it did really rain. I don't know if you can see, the papers are all mush now. They're all wrinkled. I did want to thank you all for being here. And I know these lives and the replays have all been about an hour or longer. I know Friday night was even longer. And I know that takes a big time commitment. So I just want to applaud you all for your bravery, for your courage, for showing up for yourself, for making this time for yourself. Self-care and self-love is so critical, so important. I'm holding off. There's some people walking right here in front of me, so I get shy. Kathy said, I think you need some plastic sleeves, probably for my book. Yes, you probably do. It's my companion book. It goes everywhere with me. So, and speaking of my book, by the way, I just checked today. I wanted to thank those of you that did message me after my live. I think it was yesterday or maybe it was the night before, where I did offer, I have some extra books and I would be happy to sign them, inscribe them for your loved ones, for you. And you could actually still receive my book in time for Christmas. I checked Amazon and I pretended that I was ordering a book and it said it would get there by December 20th. So if you have anybody that you know that is hurting this holiday season, you can see through the 12 days of Christmas, everything that I'm teaching you has been from my book. So feel free to contact me and reach out to me if you would like me to personalize a book and mail it out for you, or you can buy it online. I'm going to post some links tonight because they really do make really, really nice Christmas presents for anyone that has lost a loved one. I know I would have loved to have received a book like this. You don't have to read it from start to finish. You can just pull out the table of contents. And also I'm going to post a link to my adult coloring book it has beautiful positive messages in there. And the coloring book for adults is so, so important. It's a really, really good part of your self-care routine when you're starting to feel anxious or overwhelmed or stressed out. You can sit down and again, another beautiful gift to give to friends. And the messages inside there isn't just for widows, but there's so much healing with the adult coloring books. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift and you're worried you don't have enough time, I just wanted to let you know that there still is time. So let me go ahead and see what the comments are right now. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Okay, let me see. I think I left it off. Oh yeah, where Linda said the grief relief program is amazing. Linda, thank you again. for being one of my dedicated coaching clients and grief relief members. And then Pat said, awesome, needed this tonight. Linda chose, I will be here to come home early if necessary this year. That's a really, really good one. It gives you a feeling of you're taking control of the situation by setting up that boundary and knowing that if you start to feel overwhelmed, you can just thank the hostess. You can say, I'm not feeling good. I thought I was ready, but I'm just not ready. And then let's see, Francis said, oh, this one's long. Let me see. I am so glad you mentioned alcohol. I have been wanting to have a drink these last couple of days. In the beginning, I found myself drinking more than ever. After my first surgery in May, I realized I was doing myself more harm than ever. My Eddie died from his alcohol consumption, causing his health issues. I hated the way it made me feel so out of control of my feelings. I am not saying that I won't drink, but I didn't want it to control my feelings right now, so it's not a good choice. On that note, I will have a Pepsi. I am learning more about myself within this year than I ever have before. I have learned to protect myself because I feel I have to get to know me. Yes, yes. This year, I will stay close to home and not attend or answer phone calls from people who have not spoken with me since this trip to heaven. Number one, Francis, I want to say thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for your vulnerability and trusting all of us here tonight. What you wrote is not easy to share. So I want to thank you from my heart to yours. Sometimes just writing that out, what you just said, that you're going to lean more into grabbing a Pepsi instead of a drink. That's a huge step. And I want to thank you again for that vulnerability. If you need an accountability partner, send me a message. I'll be happy to help you through that. Just let me know. And I'm proud of you. I'm so, so proud of you. And I know that this is your first, and there's a lot going to happen the next couple weeks. Next week, actually, for you. So again, lean here inside the group. And then let's see, Kathy said, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy has someone giving me permission to do what's good for me. It's so freeing, even though I don't even know you. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Oh my goodness. Oh, Kathy. I know exactly. The reason why I have goosebumps is because I know. Isn't it so freeing? You don't know me. I don't know why your message is making me get teary-eyed. Because we carry so much on our shoulders. We carry so much weight. We put so much pressure on ourselves. And so I'm really, really thankful that you were here tonight. And that this message resonated with you tonight. It connected with you. And that it's giving you the freedom now, the power to say no, the boundary that you can set up. That one just gave me goosebumps. Thank you for sharing, Kathy. Maureen said, Don bought most of our tree ornaments and was so excited about each one. It's too painful for me to decorate the tree, so daughter and grandson took care of it this year. That's a perfect example of a healthy boundary. You listened to what you needed. It was too overwhelming. I don't know if you asked for help or if your daughter and grandson just took the initiative, but beautiful boundary that you set, Maureen. I'm so proud of you. Judy said, my daughter's... It's getting really dark. I'm trying to read in the dark. Does it say, oh my gosh, I need glasses. My daughter snuck in and decorated my tree and house while I was gone. Wonderful to come home to. That is absolutely a beautiful gift. And I think you shared that inside of our post. I think you made a post about that, and that absolutely warmed my heart. And if it was you that posted that, I think you, even though they did that and they surprised you, by the time you got home, your daughters already had to leave to go back to their house, if I remember the post correctly. But I just remember thinking, wow, that is just such a wonderful gift to receive from your daughters. You did a good job, Mama. You raised really good kids there. Lynn said, this is my third Christmas since Jack passed. I have already made decisions about the season that have brought me peace. We will continue our family traditions because that is my safe place. Absolutely. New Year's Eve is always a challenge because at midnight there is no one here. I won't hide from it though. Yes. The New Year's kiss. The mistletoe, that's another one. That's one that I really, really miss. And I can see it now. As soon as I read that, Lynn, I could see the doorway where Roger used to put the mistletoe. And every time we would walk by through that little opening right by our front door there, he would stop me and go, oh, we got a kiss. There's the mistletoe. Oh, Lynn, thank you for that gift. You just helped me remember something that I don't know that I've thought about that in a while. So thank you. Maureen said, I will text you at midnight. It will only be 9 p.m., so I will still be awake. Who, me? Wait, who are you texting at midnight? Wait, did I offer 24/7? Wait, I don't know. I have to go back and watch the replay. I don't know if it was me. Becky said, still here. Oh, Kathy said the plastic slave, so that's where I'm back at. Let's see. Francis said, this week I will be monitoring my phone. I don't want people asking if I am okay. And this is his anniversary to heaven and first time him not here for Christmas alive. I didn't know if you wanted me to say that in the group, so I just said that next week will be hard for you, Francis. But please, please continue to come here for our lives. Continue to lean into the group and share as much as you want to, what feels right in your heart to share with us. Maureen said, I have pretty much adopted the attitude that I will be satisfied with the season as it is, and myself as well. Expectations lead to frustrations and resentment, and those emotions are not something I want to deal with. Acceptance is peace. Maureen, I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. We can talk privately in our grief relief program. And that's the grief coach coming out. And I know a lot of our participants tonight they're not part of the grief relief, but those of you, my members, I see some of you are on tonight, you know, you can't hide things from me. So Maureen, reach out to me. Let's schedule a one-on-one. Even if you have like 5 minutes. I know it's really busy for you right now. And actually, I might schedule a Zoom meeting for the grief relief this week. So I think I'm reading a lot in that message. So I would love to talk with you privately, Maureen. So I'm not calling you out on this live. Oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't feel like I am. I just love you so much, and I want to just guide you through those feelings that I'm reading in there. So Kathy is here. Hello, Kathy. Thank you so much for joining us. If you came in late, tonight was a really good one. At least I think it was a good one. I'm curious to see. If you could share in the comments, because I was letting everyone know that if there was going to be a night that was very important for surviving the holidays, this teaching tonight was going to be one of the most important ones. Can you comment and let me know if, like, from the 4 days so far, again, this is my first time ever doing the 12 days of Christmas inside the Positive Widow. Well, inside anywhere. So, and I know I was very spontaneous yesterday and I changed it up after going to church. Was very inspired by one sentence that I caught. That I don't know anybody else caught that. And it had me rewrite my whole curriculum for day 3. So I might have lost. I don't know if anybody else is here anymore. Maureen said, no, I will text Lynn. Oh, maybe I'm missing. Are there other comments that I missed? Maybe when it was raining on me and I had to put my hoodie on. Let me see. I don't, well, maybe earlier. Well, or maybe you and Lynn have a side chat going on. I was like, wait, did I offer to be up at midnight? So, because Emma's been sick, so I wasn't sure. She's sleeping right now. That's why I was able to come, and I know she's going to be out for a while. So I'm still here. If you have anything else that you want to comment, any questions, any Q&A, maybe you are and I'm not seeing it anymore. Let me see. I'm just so thankful. Thank you, God, number one, that I didn't lose the connection right before the breath work, right before the reflection questions, and that I am able to be here for your comments. And I want to thank you for opening your heart tonight, being so vulnerable and honest and trusting each other here inside of our sisterhood. Wendy, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. We're about to wrap up the session. It started at 5 p.m. So I think it was one of the best ones. So I would say definitely, if you can, watch the replay and fast forward into the 10 minutes. I start talking about protecting your heart and all the survival tips and setting up healthy boundaries. I sit down, we watch the sunset as I teach, and I do some beautiful breathwork exercises and some reflection questions for you all to journal. So I think tonight is definitely worth a replay if you have the time, and it's exactly 1 hour if you fast forward the first 10 minutes. Okay, yes, it is dark, so I should, oh gosh, and I'm like all the way down there because remember I was walking to find a quiet place. So let me get up. Maybe I'll stay on the live with you all because I know some of you like to know when I get to the car safely. And I need to make sure I didn't lose the keys. Isn't this just beautiful though? Oh my gosh. It is absolutely breathtaking. I didn't know if we would have a nice sunset because of the clouds, and look at it, turned out to be beautiful. Okay, so I'm still talking with you until I get to the parking lot. Yeah, it is dark. I wonder if I can walk backwards so you can see this beautiful skyline. I can still see comments if you want to comment. If you have any questions about your grief journey, about the holidays, about the boundaries. I will be posting the links for my book and my coloring book. You guys, look at that. I know on my phone it looks like it's an airplane, but it's not from where I'm at. It's a dove. That cloud is a dove. Oh, how do I angle it so you can see the dove? Oh my goodness, it is so obvious. It is a dove right there. Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. I think as I'm looking at my phone camera, it looks like an airplane. In person, it is 100% a dove. I love cloud images. So, Becky said, thank you for letting us know you are safe. Absolutely. I do this in my grief relief group coaching program. I've done a lot of long walks and they make me stay on. They want to make sure I get to the car safely because I have walked in the pitch dark. I get so passionate. I just love sharing healing tools to guide you through this overwhelming time right now. And so many of you, like Frances, have very difficult days ahead where you have lost or your husband passed. In the days leading up to Christmas, some of you, he passed on Christmas Eve, some on Christmas Day, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. It's so hard to navigate the holidays alone if you don't have a beautiful sisterhood, if you don't have the healing tools and the tips. So again, I hope these are these have been helpful for you. Jeannie said she likes wait, what do you say? I see the dove. Yes, it's still there. It is still there. It's changed a little bit of a format though. But my calves are burning. I'm walking backwards. Because if I walk forward, it's going to be black. Oh, I might need to walk fast. Look how black that cloud is. So, let me not focus on the sunset anymore and walk fast, because I can't walk fast when I walk backwards. My calves were burning. So I would love, 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 love to know what day has resonated most with you. Maybe it's all the days. Maybe it was day one. Day one was very special. Very, very special. Day two was, I think they're all so special. Day two was special and it was funny. Day two was funny for me. When I think of day two, I laugh because I kept getting rained on. And then then I ended up like veering off of my agenda because I was in a pavilion, and then I ended up sharing other stories with you that I never intended to share with you. But then we were able to get back to the breathwork exercises. Yesterday was so special to me. And I think the reason why yesterday was so special is because I was very vulnerable. I opened myself up to all of you by sharing so deeply. I've got goosebumps. I was just so inspired in church. And I just felt it in my heart to share that with all of you. So thank you again for allowing me to pivot yesterday on Sunday and share my faith. I sang a little bit. I don't have the best voice. I was able to pray with all of you. And I was able to share footprints in the sand with you. And Isaiah 43. That just hit me so hard in church. And I want to thank you all for letting me pivot yesterday. Today's session was supposed to be yesterday, but I think it was all in God's timing. And I think God knew that whatever I was feeling, somebody else inside of our group that registered to be part of the 12 days of Christmas with us here needed to hear that message, needed to hear that they were not alone. All the times I would feel alone. And he reminds us that when we see, you can't see the sand, one set of footprints, that's when he was carrying us. I could cry every time I read footprints in the sand. I get chills. I get very emotional. Because then I knew I wasn't alone. And so many times I felt alone in my grief journey. So I just want to applaud you for being here, for showing up, for connecting here with the sisterhood. Grief is so exhausting, and if you feel like you're on an island of grief all by yourself, please connect here. I've said that I think on night one. If you start to engage, if you start to comment, even if you're shy, which I used to be in the other groups. I know you guys are probably like, Christina shy, she talks a lot. Believe it or not, I could be shy. And you notice that on the beach sometimes, if there's people around me, I stop talking. So I've learned how to open my heart to all of you because God called on me in church. And I was like, no. And I kept stumbling until I finally listened to God's calling. So again, thank you for letting me pivot yesterday. Let me see. Aw, Becky said, you are a godsend for me and us. Bless you. Oh, Becky, thank you. I needed that message. Sometimes I just need to know that what I'm doing, what I'm preaching, what I'm sharing is really, really resonating with you. I put so much of myself out there, so thank you. When I wrote my book, boy, I poured my heart into that book. So all of you that have purchased my book, that have my book, or are planning to buy it, thank you, because it took me over a year to write that book. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. Becky said yesterday was amazing. Oh my goodness, thank you for sharing that. That means so much to me because I knew I was taking a risk. I know we're not a Christian widowhood group, sisterhood group, and I know we have sisters inside of our group that may have lost their faith after their husband passed away. And so I wanted to touch on that a little bit yesterday because they may feel that way now. They may feel that way in this moment. And maybe it helped somebody remember how good God is. And do you all remember on Saturday? Do you remember how on day 2 I came to the beach? I was walking, I was trying to find a spot. And then when the rain came and I had to go hide under the pavilion, and when it stopped, I came back on the beach and I took the exact same steps, the exact same walk. And then there was the God is good. How amazing was that? My goodness, if that is not God showing up for all of us to let us all know that we are not alone this holiday season. Wow. Okay, where am I? I have to figure out where I am. There's all these different entrance and exits. Okay, let's see. Are you guys still with me? Oh gosh, there's still 7 of you on here. That means so much to me. Hello. Have a good night. Thank you. That you all care enough to make sure I make it back safely. I'm out of breath. I had to walk fast because it was getting dark. And I wasn't sure about that cloud. It is really, really black. So we might get some rain again. And I don't like driving in the dark and in the rain, thunderstorms, lightning. So I know this live is longer than anticipated because you all are staying on live with me to make sure I get safely back to the vehicle. So thank you for that. If you're watching the replay, please let me know. And if you have a favorite day, let me know. Becky, thank you for letting me know that yesterday was amazing. I don't know how to turn on my phone light. How do you turn on phone light when you're live? I know how to turn it on when I'm not live, but I don't think I can do that on the live. Yeah, it's not working while I'm... So I am in the parking lot. I don't know if you can see that. I'm in the parking lot, so I am going to say goodnight, say thank you, say how proud I am of all of you for showing up for your healing, for getting through these holidays together as a sisterhood and focusing on your heart, your hope, your healing. Remember to be kind to yourself, to give yourself grace, and to lean here inside the group, lean on all of us. Lean on me. I have had a lot of issues with Facebook Messenger, just to let you know. So I don't know what is happening, if it's just me or others, but I just wanted you all to know that. So, okay, with that being said, I'm here and I can't find the vehicle, so I need to turn on that phone light, and I can't do that while I'm live. So tomorrow it should be 12 o'clock, but I don't know for sure because like today things got crazy with Emma being sick, and right now I'm still having to borrow vehicles until I buy a vehicle because my vehicle and Emma's got submerged in the storm surge. So we're still having to go through all of this. the aftermath of the hurricanes. So thank you for your patience. I didn't even know if I was going to do a live every single day, but so many of you are showing up, and that means so much to me. And again, I heal with you together. I learn from each of you, and it's so healing to be with the right sisterhood, to be with your tribe that understands what you are going through. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for holding space for me too. I love you all so much. Have a good night.